Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Welcome back to another lecture of mine, and I hope you guys don't treat this as lecture because this is not going to be a long video. Okay, so without further ado, look at this. Today we're going to learn more about photosynthesis. Okay, and this is the chapter that you will be learning after chapter 5, which is, do you remember what chapter? Cellular respiration. So please don't forget any of this, since a lot of the information, a lot of the knowledge that you guys have learned from the previous chapter will be used again in this chapter. Okay, don't forget about all of the phosphorylation, about ATP, NADH, because in this chapter, we will learn almost the same concept, but it will be in reverse. So you will understand why am I saying that, okay? So let's take a look at our learning outcome for today. Alright, so in this video, we're going to learn about the overview, the introduction of photosynthesis. What exactly is photosynthesis? And I want you to know, in photosynthesis, we have two processes. The first one is called light dependent. That means you need light in order for this reaction to occur. And the second one will be light independent. Okay, the first one is dependent, the second one is independent. That means no need light. It can occur without light. Alright, and then in another video, I will record it after this. So please check out my another video. You will learn more about absorption spectrum of photosynthesis pigments. In this subtopic, I'm pretty sure everyone has done this. This is what actually you guys have done in your experiment around 1 to 2 weeks ago. But I'm pretty sure that some of you haven't done it. So lucky for you, you guys are going to watch this video first, and then you guys can go to your lab and then practice your knowledge. Alright? So let's take a look at 6.1. Overview of photosynthesis. You have to remember, photosynthesis chemical formula is the reverse of cellular respiration. Do you remember, in cellular respiration, you need to breathe in, which is oxygen. And then we use actually glucose, sugar. That's why we need to eat. Okay, we need to eat. We need to breathe. If we don't do both of this, we will die. Okay, and then what happened? It will produce water vapor and also carbon dioxide. Look at photosynthesis. It is the reverse. So we will start with carbon dioxide. The plant fixes carbon dioxide. Please remember this term, fix CO2. Remember carbon fixation in our carbon cycle before? Okay, carbon cycle, we have that before. That is why you need to remember back about carbon cycle. Who fixes the carbon? The plant. Okay, the plant. And also, along carbon dioxide, plant needs water. And that's how they convert light energy to chemical energy. Please remember. Okay, they will convert light energy to chemical energy. Alright, so that is why it will be stored in glucose or other organic compound. One thing that you guys need to know, one of the main function of plant is not to produce oxygen. It is to make glucose. That's why we say plant can make their own food. Okay, plant can make their own food. And oxygen is actually a byproduct. Okay, byproduct, product sampingan. So please remember about this. The main function is to make glucose. And oxygen will also be produced along the way. We will learn more about this in detail. Okay, so don't worry about it. And look at this picture. Okay, clearly what I've said before this, cellular respiration is the reverse of photosynthesis. So cellular respiration happens in mitochondria and photosynthesis happen in chloroplast. Okay, so hopefully you guys don't get this confused. Please don't. And let's take a look for this slide. Where actually photosynthesis happen? Of course, we will look deep inside the leaves. Okay, when you look at the leaf, it's green. Okay, when you take a look of it, actually you can find chloroplast. Okay, in chloroplast, you can find a pigment. Okay, chloroplast, we will find a pigment called chlorophyll. Okay, later on, you will know chlorophyll is just one of the pigment. It's not the only pigment. We have a lot of pigments. Okay, so chlorophyll is one of the pigment. It actually presents on the thylakoid membrane. So let's take a look here. So this is how it looks like. This is the stomata. This is the stomata, okay? So when it's open, then CO2 can come in and O2 can be released. But if it's closed, then, okay, I'm just going to put it here. If it's open, CO2 can enter. But if it's closed, CO2 cannot enter. Alright, so mostly chloroplast, you can find it in mesophyll cell. Right? And this is how it looks like. You will see something like this. Okay, please don't get confused between chloroplast and mitochondria. This is how the chloroplast looks like. If you see something like plates, okay, plates stacking like this, so this is chloroplast. Okay, so this looks like plate. One plate means it is called as thylakoid. Okay, one piece of plate, thylakoid. But if it's stacked together, we call it grana or granum. Okay, grana or granum. The space here we call as stroma. Okay, so you have to know what is what, or else it will be hard for you to understand this topic. Because sometimes the exam do ask you to label. Okay, label what is A. If you don't know what is A, then how do you answer the question, right? Okay, so you have to remember as well, chloroplast has two membrane. That's why as you can see here, we have outer membrane, inner membrane. So this is the outer. If you open the outer membrane, then you will find inner membrane. In between these two, we have intermembrane space. Okay, so that is why chloroplast is double membrane organelle. Double membrane organelle. The same as mitochondria. Okay, I'm just going to put mid-C here. Please remember, chlorophyll, the pigment, okay, chlorophyll, the pigment is the reason why plants can absorb light energy. Okay, don't say leaf absorb light energy. It's too vague. What part of leaf? If you say chloroplast, what part? So you have to say chloroplast is this one. So you have to say chlorophyll. Okay, the pigment. So chlorophyll, what is the function of chlorophyll? To absorb light during photosynthesis. So this is why you have to know in photosynthesis, we have two stages. The first one is light-dependent reaction. The second one is light-independent reaction. You can also say Calvin cycle. It's the same thing. Light-dependent reaction or Calvin cycle. Is that clear? If it's clear, let's take a look at the next slide. So these two are the difference between light-dependent reaction and light-independent reaction. As you guys may know, light dependent, that means it depends on the light, so that's why it require light energy. Light independent do not require light energy. And also the difference, the biggest difference is where does it occur? For light dependent reaction, it occurs in thylakoid membrane. Okay, let's take a look again. Thylakoid membrane, where is thylakoid membrane? This is the part of the membrane. But this is inner and outer, right? So thylakoid membrane is this thylakoid, but the membrane. Okay, that's why I will find another picture. I believe this one. So thylakoid membrane, this is the thylakoid, right? So when you open it, then you can see the membrane is the outer part. Okay, for me, thylakoid membrane is just like the skin, the membrane. Okay? Can you understand that? So thylakoid membrane is the membrane of the thylakoid. So it happens in this, just the membrane yang the outer part. Okay, so outer part of the membrane is where light-dependent reaction happen. But for the light-independent reaction is the space. The space in chloroplast is called stroma. Don't put stoma. It's different. Stoma is the closing. It's the guardian cell. Okay, stroma is different. So, stoma, we don't want stoma. We want with the R. Stroma. Okay, so stroma is the space filling in the chloroplast. Another difference between light-dependent reaction and light-independent reaction is, please remember this, light-dependent reaction will produce two substrates, which are ATP and NADPH. In the previous chapter, we have NADH. But in this chapter, we don't use this. We have NADPH, P for photosynthesis. Okay, P for photosynthesis. That is why it is very crucial for light-dependent reaction to occur first. And then, just after that, they can go to Calvin cycle. Because why? Look at here. Calvin cycle convert the chemical energy stored in ATP and NADPH to glucose. If we don't produce ATP and NADPH in the first place, these two, how can we go to Calvin cycle? So these two must be formed, must be produced before they enter light-independent reaction. So please remember these two. Okay, I'm going to put this again. ATP and NADPH is the product of light-dependent reaction. In order to enter light-independent reaction, these two must be produced first. If not, why would they enter this? Okay, so this is like the passport to go to another country. You want to go to Calvin cycle, you need to have ATP and NADPH. No light-dependent reaction, that means it stops there until we get light. So that this happen and then light-independent reaction can follow after. Okay? Alright. So I'm just gonna cover this again. Light-dependent reaction happens in, yes, thylakoid membrane. So you have to find the thylakoid, then the membrane, okay, the outer part of the thylakoid, then that is called as thylakoid membrane. How about light-independent reaction? Of course, it happens in stroma. Even if you put here stroma also can. Any space is stroma. Is that clear? That's all for today's video. Any question, please put in the comment below, or you may send telegram message to me. Okay? Hopefully you guys understand about this. Please watch this before you enter my tutorial class. Okay, or else I will babble. Why don't you watch this? Okay, you enter my class with empty knowledge. I don't want that. Alright? So please have some time. You can 2 times this video if it's too slow for you. If it's too quick, then you can make it slower. I'm pretty sure they have a automatic caption in case I speak alien language to you guys. Okay, so hopefully I don't anything, just let me know. Thank you for listening, guys, and take care. Bye.